Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Today's question comes from Brittany in Nevada. Or is it... Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. Nevada.
Are you sure? I don't
Yes.
think it is. Now I feel bad for everyone.
Nevada.
It's Nevada. That's what it is.
No, it's Nevada.
Brittany asks, my sister only makes around $25,000 a year and recently found out our mom took out a credit card in her name, which has a balance of $2,000.
No.
Our mom habitually has no money, and I don't see a world where she will pay this debt off. I ran a credit report, and as far as I can tell, she does not have one in my name. I make $72,000 a year and have been thinking about saving up to pay this debt so it's not hanging over my sister anymore. Is this a good idea, and how do we close this account? Oof.
Man.
Well, there's a lot going on here. Most of it's relational. Only part of it's financial. But
Yeah,
goodness
I mean, it's illegal. She stole her identity.
It's fraud.
And so, I mean, and I know people don't always, I mean, and it's hard to take legal action on $2,000. Do you know what I mean?
Against your mom. That makes things extra awkward.
Yes. I'm like, and so, oh my gosh. Yeah. So what you would do is, in order to close the account, you have to have it paid off, paid in full. Then you close the account. And then I would put, as much protection around all of your crediting as possible.
I would freeze every account with all 3 credit bureaus immediately.
And just making sure that, no one, especially her, but also having the conversation with her. Like, she needs to be confronted.
Absolutely.
That this happened. You guys have the knowledge of it. I mean, and I'm like, and you hate to threaten someone, but I'm like, you literally stole my identity and took out money in my name to somebody that makes $25,000 a year. And so going forward, it's like, if you continue to have a legal action against me, I'm gonna have to process. Like, we're gonna have to move forward with something harsher, Mom. And so I don't know. Again, $2,000 for some people, they would go ahead and like do as much as they could by the law to get this stopped, because I guess she could get right if it's considered
fraud.
Yeah,
she reports it and says, "Hey, this was not."
She won't have to pay it. But and again, in some like world where you're like, yes, justice needs to be served. But then in the real world, I'm like, it's $2,000, and how much you're going to pay a lawyer to do everything? I don't know.
Yeah, my first go would be contact the credit card company, say, hey, this is fraud. This was not a purchase I made, and have them try to reverse that. And secondly, like Rachel said, I would close this account, pay it off. And if the sister wants to do that as a gift, which it sounds like Brittany's wanting to do that, that's very sweet.
Yeah.
That's a one-time thing, and go, hey, I'm going to cover this, and we're going to fix this and freeze all of your accounts with all the credit bureaus so this never happens again.
Yeah.
And then confronting mom is another piece of this.
Yeah.
And helping sister get her income up. That to me is another glaring problem outside of this, but making $12 an hour is not sustainable
long-term
for an adult long-term.
Yes, yes. And we don't know how old she is or what her situation is, but
she may be 16 for all we know. I have no idea.
That's so hard. And it's become a common thing, George. Like, we're seeing more and more of this.
I'm seeing it on TikTok and Instagram, and people are going, "Oh, open a card in your kid's name, add them as an authorized user at 3 years old, so they have great credit when they graduate." And then you tank your kid's credit accidentally or maliciously.
When life happens and a pandemic hits and you get strapped for cash and you have to go make financial decisions that are not wise in a crisis, and your kid's name is attached to it. And so, again, we're seeing, like, but that in and of itself, is that legal? That's not, I mean.
To add them as an authorized user?
Yeah.
That's legal, but opening one in their name is not
that's
legal.
illegal. Yeah. Without,
you can't ask a 3-year-old for consent.
No, you can't. No.
You just add them as an authorized user.
That's what parents are doing in the legal aspect of it. But again, it ends up, we see the horror stories. And we've had people call the show, same thing happening. And
my parents tanked my credit. What do? They opened up cards in my name or added me as a user on this card, and it's affecting me financially.
Yes. Yeah, there was a study by Carnegie Mellon, and this was in 2011. So again, it was a few years back, but found that children are uniquely vulnerable to identity theft. And in their analysis, more than 40,000 American children, researchers at their university found that 10% of them had someone else using their social security number.
Oh, gosh.
And then in 2021, a study came out that found 1 in 50 U.S. children fall victim to identity theft every year, with 73% of victims being targeted by someone they know personally.
Goodness, which is probably going to be a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a brother, a sister, That's terrible.
And so much of it is financially related, right? Stealing your identity to open up accounts and credit cards.
Yeah, and they say here, the founder of the law firm said the chief motivation behind these crimes was when a parent has had bad credit and is not able to make a debt-based purchase.
There you go.
And it says in most states this is a crime. Fraud, identity theft, misappropriation of funds are all possible charges a prosecutor could bring.
Yep.
So it's possible to go to court for this, but again, the costs of lawyer fees add up to where you're like, I spent 10 grand to fight 2 grand. Was this worth it in the end? And a lot of stress, emotional turmoil.
Yeah. And again, you want justice in every legal sense of the word, right? But when you get down to it in the real world, it's like, oh my gosh, for somebody out there, her making $72,000 a year, it's like, is it realistic for her to go and hire a lawyer and do all of this, or do you pay it, close the accounts, have the threatening conversation with mom? But yeah, some people choose the latter.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.